Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to my channel, Creative Grandma. Today's video, we just want to go over Cody's progress since he started really crocheting for me this year and helping me with my channel. So we thought we would gather up the blankets that he made this year, and we thought we would just do a best of 2024 of Cody's designs. So we hope you enjoy the video, and we hope that these blankets give you some inspiration.
Now, a lot of these blankets were collabs. So, like, I would, pick the yarn and pick the stitch and then make the blanket, and then Grandma would then finish the blanket with a beautiful border, which makes it like an actual blanket.
But it's mostly your design.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of these were collaborations. There's a couple in here that were all 100% me. I don't have every single blanket that I have made because I had given one away as a gift. I sold my most popular blanket that I've ever made. I didn't know it was going to be the most popular blanket, but it was beautiful, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But I was going through the videos and writing all my patterns down. I thought maybe I had 5, maybe 6. There's 10.
Yeah.
There are 10 designs.
He did good this year. So do you think your experience with crocheting has improved?
Oh, I'd say so. I'd say so. Well, thanks to you. All the stitch patterns that I picked for my blankets, I watched your Stitch of the Week videos to learn how to make them. So.
And I was surprised because you were learning from the videos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a couple times I talked you through the pattern so you could understand reading a pattern. But he was able to go on and do the stitches at his own house by watching the videos, which I thought that was really good.
Now, a lot of these blankets that I made, of course, are geared more towards newer crocheters. I mean, advanced crocheters have made these blankets too, because even though they may not be super advanced crochet patterns, they are still beautiful blankets, and a lot of people really like them.
And more experienced crocheters, when they make real elaborate crochet things, sometimes they want the simple blankets to make.
All right, so let's get started with the first one. This was, I think, the first blanket that I ever made, and this was used making Premier puzzle yarn that was sent to us by a subscriber, and it was called the Cody's Cozy Blanket. And unfortunately, I gave this blanket away as a gift, so I'm just going to put a picture of it up on screen right now. It was just a beautiful, cozy, warm blanket. I can't recommend Premier puzzle yarn enough. I know that you've used it.
I love Premier puzzle yarn.
Yeah.
It works up quickly, and they have so many beautiful colors.
Yeah, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one because I don't have the actual blanket. If you want to learn more about the details and the size and all that stuff, I'm going to put a link down in the description to Grandma's Etsy shop where every single one of these patterns is available. But if you'd rather watch the video tutorial, there are video tutorials for every single one of these as well. So I will put links to every single tutorial for all of these patterns down below.
And if you're trying to learn how to read a pattern, sometimes it's nice to get the written pattern to follow along with the video, but it's your choice.
So originally what I was going to do is put all my patterns together in one big pattern pack, but unfortunately I just did not have the time to do so. So I'm just going to put links to all the patterns individually down below. The next blanket that I made was my most popular blanket to date, and I sold it. Now I got a pretty good price for it, I can't lie. I probably got $100 for it on eBay, which is a good price for a baby blanket.
Yeah, it was.
But it was such a beautiful blanket, and I didn't realize that it was going to be my most popular blanket, but I have pictures. This is the Candy Stripes baby blanket. It has over 110,000 views on the tutorial alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just gorgeous.
That was one of your nicer blankets. Yeah, it was very popular.
And that was the first baby blanket that I ever made, the very first one.
And that was made with the Care-On cinnamon swirl cakes.
Yep. Let's go to the next one. The next one I have right here on top, and I had to dig hard to find this blanket. She put it in the tote in the bottom of the closet, and it took me a while to find it, but we found her. I'm like, I know I didn't get rid of that blanket. This was the Any Size Rectangle Granny Blanket. Another blanket that a lot of people really like.
And this blanket was made, I believe, with the Lion Brand Mandela Impressions yarn.
Yeah.
And you can make this any size. The pattern, the tutorial, once you follow this, it's very, very simple. It's very, very quick and easy because this is one of those thicker yarns. I thought this was really pretty. It reminds me of a tie-dyed, like a tie-dyed shirt or something. Absolutely love this pattern.
Yeah, this was the Mandela Impressions in the color tie-dye. We originally did a yarn swatch video.
Yeah.
And Grandma heard me mention how much I love this color, so she bought me a bunch of skeins to make a blanket, and this was the blanket that I made. Now, the blanket is a little bit small But this is an any size rectangle granny. You could make this absolutely as big as you want. It'll just take more yarn.
You can make it baby blanket size, toddler size, teenager size, especially if you're a taller person. You can just keep making it until you get it to the size you want. All things are possible with this blanket.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next pattern is not a blanket, but I'm just going to throw it in here anyway. This was my Showtime scarf. Another incredibly popular pattern, surprisingly.
I was very surprised. Yeah, this was a very popular pattern. And I think it's because of the yarn.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the stitch pattern is nice, but I think it's because of the yarn. Just the colors, that it just had such beautiful colors. And I think the name of the yarn, the color was Showtime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that why we named it Showtime?
Yep.
Yeah.
This was another yarn that when I was first getting started, a couple of really generous subscribers sent me some yarn to get started, and this was in there. It was the red heart on a roll with it in the color Showtime.
Yeah, this was really pretty. I could see taking this, enlarging the chain, and making a blanket out of this yarn.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty.
Yeah, it just stands out.
Try it on.
Okay.
Let them see what it looks like on you. Now, you can make this scarf longer. You're going to need more yarn. But if you like the longer scarf, if you like it wider, you can adjust the pattern. Yeah, very, very pretty scarf.
Yeah, my goal with this was to make it with one cake of yarn. So I made it a little bit shorter than you recommended, but just so I could stay within that one skein goal that I set for myself.
But some people like the shorter ones because they like to wrap them around their neck and then stick them down inside their jacket, so they don't want them real long.
Yeah.
So that is just the perfect pattern, and I think that's why it's so popular, because it was one skein of yarn.
Yeah, this would look good with some fringe too. So, I mean, you could make it with one skein, but I would recommend you get two. Make it the length that you actually want it. Maybe put some fringe on it. I mean, it's just a beautiful yarn. All right, so the next one, the information, the specifics is escaping me right at this very second. I'm trying to remember all these. I'm trying to remember all this stuff about all these blankets.
And I can't see it, so I can't help you.
Yeah, so this was the Cuddles baby blanket. So I had to go look up and see what I used to make it. It was the Bernat baby blanket yarn, and it was the color Pitter Patter. This blanket is a great blanket to experiment with those bigger yarns if you haven't used them before, because it is such a simple stitch pattern. Even though the yarn is sold as baby yarn, the blanket was incredibly heavy and thick.
And I worry that if it's a newborn, like if it's a little tiny, tiny baby, I would not recommend that yarn for a newborn or any baby that doesn't have the strength, because that was a really heavy blanket.
Yeah, it was more of a baby's play mat than a baby's blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to use your own judgment with some of these yarns, the way they're labeled. So which one's next, Cody?
So the next blanket is called the Waves baby blanket. And this was another blanket that I made using the yarn that a subscriber had sent to us.
This is a gorgeous blanket, and I could see this being made with any of the cinnamon swirl cakes. And what color did you use for this one?
This was called Whipped Jelly.
Whipped jelly. Well, I can see grape jelly, blueberry jelly, I mean, I guess. Now, I like that the colors are not pulling with this. I like that the colors are dispersed pretty nice with this one.
Might not be to everybody's taste, but I really liked it, so I decided to make a blanket out of it. And I used the Super Easy Ripple Stitch, which I'd love to use again because it's just such an easy, fast stitch pattern.
But I thought you did a very good job on this. When are you going to do another baby blanket?
Well, I actually have the yarn to make another baby blanket, and it's just a matter of finding the time, because I'm always trying to make yarn swatches and work on other videos, and I'm just trying to squeeze it in there. And I started the blanket, but I was not happy with the stitch pattern that I had chosen, so I had to start over. And I'm just, not enough hours in the day right now.
Now your next blanket, I thought this was really pretty. This one surprised me when you made this. I seen the yarn and I wasn't sure, but then after you made it, it changed my mind about the yarn and how it worked in the stripes. So what's the name of this blanket?
The next blanket is called the Lovey Dovey baby blanket. This blanket and the rest of the blankets I'm going to show you today are actually available in kit form on Lion Brand.
Yeah. One
of them has not released yet, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But this one is currently available, and it is quite a popular blanket. I mean, I really love this blanket, everything about it. This was made with the
Lion Brand Mandela Sparkle. It
That's
has
right.
just that little bit of glitter in there. And what color did you use for this?
This was color Draco. For some reason, I think Lion Brand did a Harry Potter collab or something because they were using Harry Potter references as the names of yarn.
Oh,
I don't know.
see.
I love this picot border that you put on there. The white just contrasts with the sparkle yarn so well. This is probably my favorite baby blanket that I've made personally.
Yeah, and the sparkle isn't scratchy. Like if you worry about using this yarn, a lot of times people are afraid of using the glitter yarn because sometimes if it's too loosely woven, that glitter can stand up and be scratchy. This isn't scratchy in my opinion. But yeah, that is a gorgeous blanket. And I love how the colors, it's just beautiful the way the colors repeat. Now, did you color control this?
I color control all of my blankets. Now, all that means is I keep the pattern going. So if I end on a color, I pick up the pattern so it repeats.
Yeah, so if you end with the dark pink, then if the next skein doesn't start with the light pink, then he pulls the yarn off and just starts with the light pink. Very good job on this blanket.
Yeah, big fan of this one. Okay, so let's get to the next one. The next one is another gorgeous blanket, and I said that this one will be available on Lion Brand in kit form, but it wasn't out yet. It's actually coming out the day after Christmas, the 26th of December. So you'll be able to buy the kit on Lion Brand. It comes with the yarn and the pattern and everything you need to make this blanket. And here it is. It's called the Playful Colors.
And that's the nice thing about when you buy the kit from Lion Brand, you get the pattern for free. And if you don't want to wait for the kit, you can buy the pattern off the Etsy site and then just buy the yarn off of Lion Brand. This blanket was made using the Mandela Baby, and this was the color Acre Woods. So you can see how that yarn looks, and then you can see how it looks worked up. I thought these colors were beautiful, but I'm one of those people who like the beautiful pastels. Now, to me, this is pastels. It's more pastel than it is bright. But I loved how this turned out. Love these colors because children love bright colors. You want happy, cheerful colors for a child, and I just thought that was gorgeous.
I had it backwards. Sorry.
And we used bright white for the border. We used the baby soft white because I think the white just brings that clean, crisp look to the blanket, and then you focus on the center with the colors, and the white just acts as a bright frame around the blanket.
Yeah, so this is another one of the blankets that I really love. I just love the colors. I love the nice white border, and I'm excited to see how it does. I assume this might be a popular kit as well.
And this is the one we get the name backwards. We keep thinking it's it's Playful
Color Play.
Yeah,
and then Playful Colors, and we just keep getting it jumbled up.
We keep saying the wrong name, but it is Playful Colors Baby Blanket. The pattern is already released on Etsy and on my website, and the kit will be released this Thursday, December 26th. So good job, Cody.
Thank you.
Now the next blanket is also a very beautiful baby blanket, and Cody used the double crochet V-stitch, which if you're looking for a blanket that works up extremely quickly, you're going to love this. And even though it has that little bit lacy design, it's still a very warm blanket.
Yes, this is a super fast blanket to make, super fast and easy stitch pattern, and I just love the color. This was made with the Lion Brand Bundle of Love in the color Unicorn.
Yeah, bright, beautiful colors with a crisp white border, and then we brought that color out to the last round of the border just to pull that color from the inside to the very outside of the blanket. So I think all your blankets are fantastic. Anyone who wants to make a baby blanket, these are excellent blankets to make. So the last blanket we want to show you is a blanket that we designed. And this one was one that a subscriber, we actually had two different subscribers send Cody yarn to make this blanket. So we did have some of that yarn left over. Well, we actually had quite a few skeins of that yarn left over.
So the name of this blanket is the City Lights blanket, and it was made with the Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick in the color City Lights.
Yeah, that's where it got its name. But I thought it was an excellent blanket. And we want to do a shout out to the viewers and subscribers who sent Cody yarn and helped him be able to make some of those blankets. This is beautiful. I mean, it was just a gorgeous color. And we were discussing, we kept sitting there. Cody made samples, and then I was trying to figure out how to make it so it wasn't so plain. So we discussed, remember when we sat in there discussing, well, should we use a second color? And when you decided to use that second color, I think it just made the blanket pop. It just give it that beautiful look where it wasn't just a blob of that color. It had that contrasting color that just made the squares pop and just pulled that blanket together.
Yeah, the contrasting color was the Thick and Quick and the color Oatmeal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just helps break it up a little bit. Like you said, it kind of, I mean, it's a beautiful yarn, but it would have just kind of looked like a blob if all the granny squares were a solid color.
Now, this is one of those yarns where when you buy the thicker yarns, you don't get a lot of yardage. So we kept this to the smaller size because when we try to put these patterns together, if we make it too large, then people can't afford to make it. So that's why we kept it to this size. But you can make it any size you wish because it is made with squares. You just add more squares across and down, and you can make this any size you wish. You're just going to have to buy more yarn. But I thought you did an excellent job on this blanket. But I'm so proud of you. I think you did a great job this year and just, you know, helping me with my channel, and I get to see what your vision is for yarn, and it helps keep me inspired. So we hope this video has got you inspired to maybe try a new yarn or try a new baby blanket pattern. So what do you want to end the video with, Cody?
Yeah, one thing that came as a big shocker when I was getting the information around for this video was how many patterns I actually have. I thought I had a few. There's 10. That's quite a lot. The question I want to know is which one of these patterns that you saw today was your favorite? Let me know down below if you've made any of these patterns, because I've seen several people say that they made a lot of these. So let me know down in the comment section below. Like I said, the links to the kits for the Lion Brand blankets will be down below, and then the links to the patterns, the links to the video tutorials, everything will be down below for you and your convenience. So thank you so much for watching today, and until next time.
Stay inspired and happy crocheting. Bye, everyone.